Good morning. Today is Thursday, November the 9th. The time right now is 11:14 in the morning, and overnight markets have been pretty quiet. The highlight of the yesterday was the speech by the Fed chairman Jerome Powell, in which he did not give much away because the market was hoping that he could reveal his thinking about interest rates going forward for the balance of the year, perhaps even 2024. Would there be any rate cuts? Because the market has been rallying since last week on the back of expectation that the Fed is done hiking and is probably preparing to cut rates into 2024. And we didn't get anything from him yesterday, and he's expected to speak again today. So let's see if there's going to be anything new. Market actually stalled, although the market actually managed a marginal high. In the Dow Jones, you can see the high trade overnight was 34,252.75. This is the cash index. You can see that the market is probably going to edge higher into 34,600 to perhaps even 34,800 levels. So we can see that this bracket of prices, which is going to be vulnerable to the upside, where I would expect some kind of selling interest to re-emerge from there. Now, when we compare this chart to the futures contract, this is the Dow Jones futures. We can see that the top side here equivalent will be 34,479 to 34,653. Any kind of pullback will be, I would expect to be rather shallow. There is a order block here, which is 33,894 to 33,974. So I would expect prices to hold within here before it propels higher. So do watch out for a pullback before the market resumes its upside. Over in S&P 500, cash index have a high at 4,391.2, which is did not quite take out the previous high here that we saw on October 17 at 4,393.57. So it's still we do not have a break of character here as far as the S&P 500 concerned, but the trajectory do suggest that perhaps we're going to see a little bit of pullback perhaps into the 4,323 levels before the market resume its challenge of the 4,478.7 to 4,508.5. Okay, over in the futures contract equivalent, we can see that any kind of pullback is likely to be supported within this area here at 4,325 and 3/4 to 4,340 even. So upside target, we are not that far away from this bracket of prices, which has previously seen the re-emergence of selling interest. That level is 4,415 and 1/4 to 4,430 and 1/2. In Nasdaq 100, we can see that the market has marginally taken out the previous high here on October the 12th at 15,333.98 with a new high last night at 15,343.19. So we do have a marginal high here. So there's a break of character here. So any kind of pullback is likely to be contained within the 23.6% retracement so far at about 15,040.86 in the cash index. When we reference this to the futures contract, we can see that the nearby area of interest to me will be at 15,138 and even to 15,257.5. So again, market has already hit the pocket of resistance, unlike the cash markets. So any kind of pullback is going to be limited to somewhere around 15,140 to 15,260 levels. Okay, and over in Asia, we can see that the Nikkei actually managed to recover its losses from yesterday. As we are talking right now, the market is at 32,490 in the futures contract. So we will have to see, because the market looks like it's about to do a three-wave pullback. But if this rally that we see today managed to take out yesterday's high at 32,560, then we could be seeing perhaps a slightly different pattern emerge. But by and large, I do expect that the 32,770 high that we see on Monday itself to basically hold for now. So I think the risk is to the downside. At least a pullback is going to be healthy. I think the market is likely to go into the 32,000, perhaps 31,860 levels in the futures contract. Now in the Hang Seng, we can see the Hang Seng futures contract continue to slump. This morning we can see the market gone even lower, but it has hit this 50% mark. Now the high is 18,072 in the futures contract. The 50% mark of the entire rally from here is at 17,524. So we can see the market has already hit that level. And so far, it does not look like it's going to stop here. So anyway, this bracket of prices between 17,395 to 17,534, it looks like it may actually offer some kind of technical support if one should actually appear. And over in the dollar itself, we can see the dollar cash index. You can see the high traded is 105.87. This is not far away from this area which I highlighted previously at 106.05 to 106.30 levels, which I do expect some kind of selling interest to re-emerge. By and large, the dollar recovery does not look like it's going to be is over yet. I would suspect that it will pull back perhaps into the 105.36 to as low as 105.24 levels, where I would expect to see some kind of support here before the market resumes in a three-wave corrective rally here back into 106.05 to 106.30. So short term, perhaps down first and then subsequently to rally again. So this will create some kind of opportunity, in my opinion, in the principal currency. We can see the euro versus the dollar has actually bottomed out at 106.60 thereabout to the overnight high at 107.16. So if the dollar is going to pull back first before it actually resumes its rally, then I would expect some kind of rally into this bracket of prices, 107.32 to 107.52, to offer a selling opportunity targeting 106 to 106.34. Okay, so do look out for a move higher and then pull back to 106. Over in sterling, I do see something quite similar. The overnight low is 122.42, and if this continue to extend higher, currently it's trading at 122.84. I would expect it to continue to extend higher during the London session to 123.26 to 123.50 levels before it pulls back down again, targeting 121.86 to 122.14. Over in the Aussie, Aussie is a little bit of in no man's land because the market came down very aggressively from 0.6523. We had a low this morning at 0.6397. So I think upside will be contained within 0.6440 now. For now, perhaps even targeting the low band here at 0.6318 to 0.6341. Over in the dollar versus the yen, the market may actually continue to edge up a little bit because I was expecting some kind of resistance to come in yesterday, but it did not quite happen just yet. So the high traded this morning is 151.05. So I do suspect that it probably will go a little bit higher during the London session before it comes back down. And if it comes back down, I would suspect it's going to be a three-wave pullback, and we all got to see how far this bounce here is going to end. So from where it ends, and we can take a measurement to actually guess where the market is going to terminate. Over in dollar Canadian, we see similar patterns. The dollar has been pulling back and then rebound to this to a high overnight at 138.15, and this market looks like it may actually go a little bit higher to 138.24 to 128.52 before it comes under selling pressure, and then this will result in a three-way pullback targeting 135.70 to 136.24. Okay, now we go to precious metals. We can see precious metal remains stable, although the market went a little bit lower than expected. The market traded to a low last night at $1,947.48. I have actually started accumulating position, or rather I would say I have started going long at $1,955.09. And even though the market dipped a little bit lower to $1,947.50, this is within the bracket of prices which are still expected to hold. There is a order block here at 1,945.3 to 1,954.55 thereabout. So it is still within this bracket of prices. If the market drop a little bit lower to perhaps to challenge the 1,940 levels, I may decide to add new position because I'm very bullish on precious metals going forward. And over in silver, despite the bounce up to $22.84 in a silver, the market slides back to $22.51 as we are speaking. The low so far is $22.28, and this structure suggests that we may actually see lower prices going forward, but I think it should be held out at $21.74 to $21.92. From there, I do expect an explosive move to the upside in the precious metal complex. And when it comes to gold, precious metals, I too am also very bullish right now. In fact, I've already gone long the WTI crude oil at $76.31. Although the market went down lower at $74.88, I think a low is quite nearby. At the most, I do expect one more dip down to $72.64 to $74.11. And if that comes into being, I will add new positions to my original long here at $76.31. I think this market has a lot of potential to the upside as much as the precious metals. In Bitcoin, we can see Bitcoin actually traded to a year's high this morning at $36,533.45. And I think the upside could be quite limited. We can see that there's this newer highs as we go along. But unless the market can cross beyond and close above this line, there's a very good chance that this line here that we see here, although it's imaginary, may actually act as a resistance going forward. So do not attempt to buy now. I would suspect somewhere around $37,665. The market will come into a bracket of prices that will make it very vulnerable to the sell side. So the market goes into this bracket of prices between $37,665 to $40,000. Look out for selling interest, because I think the market is going to gun for 40,000 at most. But once it started to brush against the $37,664, I'll be looking out for selling signal. Okay. In the meantime, you can see that there is an obvious area of accumulation here. This is at 34,100 to 34,740 levels. So these are the two ranges to watch out for. All right, this is all I have for today. In the meantime, you take care, and I'll come back to you tomorrow with another update. Bye-bye.